See the new sign down by the Lieutenant Governor's residence? Heard about that one? No. Shut up. Got everybody that we're gonna have, Mr. Chair. So whenever you're ready, we can start. Okay, I'll call the Public Safety Committee for May the 2nd, 2024. Call to order, please. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Bob Powell or Mato?
Seconder?
Andrew Ferris online.
Hi, guys. Andrew Ferris.
Any conflicts, gentlemen, ladies?
Nope.
Okay, we'll get right into the meat of the meeting. It's the review of the advisory forum from last night. We had the RCMP in attendance for the quarterly report, and we also had the Department of Justice and Public Safety for an explanation of actually what they do. So I'll turn the meeting over to the discussion part of it and see where we want to go from there. Anybody want to start with any comments from last night?
No, the RCMP quarterly report, do they go to all the councils and?
No, they used to come to ours, but we haven't seen them for a couple of years now.
My understanding is following local government reform, the idea was they were gonna flow all of that through RSCs going forward. Yeah. That's not to say they wouldn't come to invited.
Well, yeah, see, like in Armata, where that's where the headquarters is, the council.
They should run downstairs, it's great. But it's something we should, I'd like to see them come again, because at least you had somebody inform council what was going on, right?
And then you can ask them, things just about Armata. I mean, you can in that forum we had last night too. But you can ask about what the local crime is and what they're working on at the time.
Yeah, so I think that's something that any local government can do, is to invite the RCMP to attend the council meetings. So that'll get each local government to decide to do if they want to. I think it's a good idea. I think we'll try to get that going again, because it was, I think it was beneficial to the.
And I think they noted that last night as well, that, when we were talking about tracking their time, they're not gonna track it specific to the type of call, but they are gonna, they're looking at tracking it by community. So that would be a useful tool when they report to your respective councils. Yeah.
And the public safety, it was nice to hear everything they did, because, I mean, I knew a lot of what they did, but I didn't know it was that intensive and who was ahead of what.
Yeah, it was a great presentation, just to realize how busy they, and how deep they get into things within the province. They seem to have the finger in every pie. So I think they want to give that presentation, so if anybody wants it for the council, I think we can work that probably through Kelly, right? And get that presentation and get it in there. So most people have no idea what public safety does. I have no idea. So,
And you can also get cameras and stuff from them too.
oh,
From Dan, and you would,
okay.
he was telling us.
Interesting. Well, something else that's shot, tracked in. We've had another break-in just a couple of weeks ago there, training that's in the back of the building, right? So we have to light that up, put a camera up there or something.
I was a little disappointed in the attendance.
Yeah, I guess it was a nice night and people had things to do, so, but still, I mean, it's where they're putting those presentations on and they're good enough to come and do them. I think we should get a better attendance at that.
I suspect it may have to do with the frequency of meetings that everybody has now. I mean, we've got a lot of committee meetings, but there are the committees that flow out of councils and the council meetings, and people can't be everywhere at once.
No, just exactly. And it's getting that I'm going to raise my hand and I can't stop going to meetings.
Well, I know I had to leave even this morning, I had to leave early because I had another one. So I said, okay. But we have a lot of meetings.
Yeah, takes up way too much time, and I think when you're at meetings, it's hard to get other things done. Right, they do it in the meetings, but you can't do stuff when you're attending meetings, right? Any comments from anybody online?
No, I thought the meeting was well structured, and we haven't had them out at any of our meetings yet, but they're busy around here. I see them going. We're happy out here with their service so far.
Yeah, the extra people they brought in, the extra officers, it is making a difference. You're seeing them around more often now than before. So it is making a difference.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
And Kelly, you're gonna send us the presentation, eh?
Yeah.
So I can give it to council. But Dan was ex-RCMP and he's a good man and he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he knows the,
He was
policing
the
information.
commander in our district.
Yeah, I knew he was a former RCMP, so he's certainly a good fit for public safety.
Oh my God, yeah.
A lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, a lot of context, so that's the big thing.
It's difficult to get the people that you want in the room for anything. I think if you're somewhat dissatisfied with the attendance or disappointed, maybe we could find a way to work a little harder in terms of inviting and following up. I don't know about you guys, but when I indicate interest in something online, I am bombarded. And then I typically have to unsubscribe, right? But I think there's a sweet spot between that and maybe sending out an invitation and then a reminder that week that if we could do some kind of teaser, like this is what you're going to hear, or it's worth trying.
Because the last forum we had, in person,
Right.
and we had pretty good attendance at Hamilton there, so.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I think in person, people prefer to go to those meetings. I know I do. I prefer an in-person meeting than a Zoom meeting myself, which just seems to be accomplished a lot. I think you get a lot more questions and whatnot too at an in-person meeting. So this might be.
But with the nice weather, and even the bad weather, it's nice to have Zoom because you don't want to travel on the snowy days.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in the summer, if you're down at the lake or something and you have internet, then you can Zoom, right?
Yeah. Zoom does have its, its usage for sure. I'll be able to go that, especially if the weather's bad or, you're pushed for time.
Exactly.
And especially when you're bringing in such a potentially large group of people.
Yeah.
To coordinate everybody traveling back and forth, I mean, it does make it a lot easier. For them to do that. Yeah. And as you can see, we can accommodate hybrid as well. So, yeah, there's something for everybody. One thing I would note on the meeting last night, it was the first time I've seen us starting to move towards, the whole idea of information sharing is that we can, through conversation, figure out a better way of doing things. And you saw one staff member from Justice and Public Safety suggest that there may be another way to deal with the attendance, for example, at hospitals for those mental health calls. I think that's pretty significant that, we just by bringing those two parties together, the RCMP and public safety, to talk about that one issue in particular.
And make them up with a solution.
Yeah.
Because when you figure you've got, several families tied up for several hours in a hospital, and what happens when they get a call and they can't leave?
And with the crime rate right now, and then now it's heating up to be summer and it started already, now the stolen vehicles and stuff. I mean, daily there's,
It's only going to get worse over the summer months.
and they haven't hit Ormonto yet, but they're hitting Gary and crazy. And like he was, they're burning the cars.
Well, what he did mention, it's not organized crime doing the car that.
No, they're local.
Yeah.
Crimes.
From different communities and they just rotate. Like last year when we got Ormonto get hit bad, they had a stolen vehicle from Hanwell.
Yeah.
And they dropped them off in Kingsclear. And these guys were from these Mactaquac way.
So there you go. Yeah. No, it's education for people to, lock their cars or don't leave the keys in the car, or especially not in the ignition. But a lot of people leave them up with the sun visor or in the console, so crimes of opportunity. That opens the car to see what's in them. You can steal them. Keys are right there. Take your car and go, right?
And 3/4 of the stolen vehicles are crimes of opportunity. And that's the saddest part.
Yeah, it's, they're not responding anymore to, stolen gas. But surveillance.
Yeah.
Because the issue is solvable if the owners want to solve it.
Right.
So, again, nothing the RCMP can do once they're come and gone, done.
And the I mean, just in the States, and you have to go in and tell them how much gas you're gonna buy, and then you come out, and if you don't use that much, you go in and they'll give you, say if you wanted 50 and you only use 47, they'll give you your $3 back. And that's part of life there.
When I first did the travel down the US, I'm thinking, wow, I've never seen this before, but now it's here, right? So,
Yeah, I suspect we'll see a migration towards that, as people switch out the machines and the, respect, the gas stations. Nobody wants to do it unnecessarily, replace a brand new machine, but, if I were guessing, I suspect.
Well, most of the pumps have the card access right there, but you also have the pump access right there. So shut down the ability to pump. Either you gotta go inside, get the deactivated, pay them cash, or use your card outside. It's an easy fix. So,
Yeah, and like the ones in Oramaco, they have the vocal thing, they just say, you have to come in, sir, and then, or ma'am, and then you walk in and you tell them how much you want.
so something they can address themselves. So.
Well, that's what the RCMP looked at, and they said, well, look, this is the issue, but guess what, you can solve this.
So it's not our problem.
And most of them didn't like that, they didn't want that to happen.
So, anything else? Anything we missed? Anybody online? No more comments?
Well, I was confused about the two ministers, which kind
Yeah, they got 2 ministers, 1 deputy.
of,
That's usually the opposite. They usually have 1 minister and several deputies.
yeah, I mean, that's a lot of work to be a deputy minister, which usually they're full-time and they're the
Well, they're-
brains of the outfit,
They're the
right?
guys that are doing.
That's a
the-
lot of work,
Yeah, I don't know how they're managing with 1 deputy. He's must be, wow,
Superman or something.
something going on there.
Yeah, and your org chart, I think they had, must have been 8 assistant deputies reporting into the 1 deputy who then reports to
The
2
2
separate ministers
Yeah.
on a department that's that multifaceted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
There's no shortage of deputy ministers over there, so they should have a few with justice and public safety, with, the group they have. They need more than 1 deputy minister. So, yeah, that's unusual. Okay, is there anything else? Nothing else? I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, before you do, one thing I'd like to ask the members of the committee. I know it seems early in the year, and it is, but we're already starting to work on budgets for 2025.
Yeah.
But time has a way of sliding by, and of course, we, as a committee, only meet every 2 months. So I guess our next meeting is at the start of June, but then we've got a sort of a hiatus over the summer, right, until September. So what I would like to ask the committee members to think about over the course of the next month would be items that they want to focus on in 2025 as a committee, and specifically items that have budget implications. So one of the issues that we talked about quite a bit last year during the budget process was, why do you have $50,000 allocated to whether it's public safety or tourism or whatever it may be. And the answer would be, we want to make sure that we have capacity to perform studies should the committee members decide to go forward with one. I think we want to think about that strategically on whether that's something that we want to have the capacity to do. This year was really a year of sort of what I would call a foundation year, where we're going to be receiving a lot of these presentations. It doesn't require a lot of money, but that's going to give the committee members the lay of the land going forward. But should it take, say, a policing study, regarding, say, fire services or whatever it may be, now's the time to think about that so we can roll that into the budget over the course of the summer. It's also important that whatever we do put in there, we've got the support of the committee when it comes to budget time. So we're able to justify it, and the committee members are able to speak to the potential value of
Certainly,
those items.
a good point, well brought up.
So what was our budget for this year?
So this year it was purely operational. It was
Okay,
like,
there's no-
it would have been just the expenses associated with the committee, administrative expenses, that's it.
Right.
But if we want to step outside of the box,
Expand.
exactly, if we want to have any resources, then I would remind the committee members that, if you do budget for something, and you don't spend the money, there is a treatment for that. You can simply, the money doesn't get wasted, you can roll it over as a second previous year surplus and get the money in the 2 years following. or you can transfer it into a reserve. And eventually, all of these various mandated services will have their own reserve funds. So it isn't money wasted, but I think it's a prudent thing to do to budget some of that so that we have some capacity to take action should we decide to do
Yeah,
so.
that's
Well, like I said,
something
if
for sure.
any members have any ideas or something they want to do a study, I can bring it forward. So, you know, jump on it early and get the money.
And if it's okay with you, Mr. Chair, and the committee members, we'll put a separate item in the agenda for the June meeting. So we can follow up and we can talk about that and get a few items listed and take it forward with budget development.
Cool. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brent.
You're welcome, Andrew.
Anything else?
Oh, the ATV off-road
Enforcement people?
enforcement people, and they only have one unit that does that province.
Hmm.
I think we should lobby for, I mean, there should be more than one unit because every community is having issues with.
Well, I've seen them when I was down at Bill and they mean, so they must have one unit, but they must have quite a few staff. Because that's just out in around mid back in between Hanwell and Magaway.
Yeah, I know.
So I ran into them a couple of times, so they're certainly up and down. Off-road vehicle enforcement, yeah.
And we had them once last year, but twice the year before.
Okay.
And we try to get them this year, but I mean, it's, when they're on the walking trails with the motorized vehicles down there on the streets. I just seen a young fella go last night, come down over the sidewalk on the street, and he whipped back over and he come to the cars, he was going faster than the cars, and he went on the sidewalk and passed them back on the street, and I thought, and the kid might have been 12 years old.
Yeah, gonna kill himself or somebody else.
Yeah.
Gonna happen. We got one in the subdivision on a lime green. I am like a hard off-road, you know, dirt bike, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've been told sometimes he's doing well over 100 on those streets in the subdivision. And there's nothing needed. Like I said, it's just a matter of time before he hurts somebody or hurts himself. So.
I don't know what's wrong with parents.
That's the one with the head. You know, they all say you can't fix stupid, but
Well, I mean, it's hard to believe that, I mean, especially if you drive on the highway and you go the speed limit,
oh, yeah.
zipping by, and of course, everyone goes now because the RCP allow you up to 13 kilometers. So you're talking about 123, anything over that, they're gonna stop it, right? And even though they don't make it public, but I mean, I'm on the highway every day coming back Fort Fredericton, and holy smoke, you think it was you know? And I've seen cars go by and I know they're doing 150, and I've seen the school buses go by and pass me. And I'd be doing 118. And a school bus passed me when there was 3 kids in the bus. And this was on the 2-laner.
That's
What the
dangerous.
heck is going on?
Yeah, yeah, that's scary. Because usually bus drivers, school bus drivers, they do the speed limit or less, so they're pretty good. Yeah, I've never seen that one, although I was passed by an ATV. That's why I'm going at the office on the Henle Road. He went by me and I would have been doing the speed limit, just speeding. And he went by me and that little 4-wheeler just going like that. He had to hit a little pothole or something. He was going to a flip. So I would have been straightening him up with shovels.
Oh, I have several times seen speeders pulled over on the side of the road, but by JPS peace officers, not the RCMP. So I think that's one of the ways that they're trying to address it. But like you, I'm not at the front of the line, far from it, and I'm not a slow driver either.
Yeah.
Nothing to see somebody doing 130, 140 on the border. It's common, everyday occurrence.
Even the semis.
I do see more enforcement on the 4-lane on the Trans-Canada. That's part of my drive home. I've noticed it in the last.
That's 20 new officers.
Yeah,
It is. It's
Yeah.
I think it's made an impact.
And that's gonna make a difference, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see them all the time, but it's a lot more often. It would be once every 2 weeks or so. They've got a radar trap set up.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to see them happen.
Right. That's all I have.
Okay, anything else? Andrew?
No.
You're good?
Oh, it's good.
All right, you can motion to adjourn for me. for Bob, kid.
Okay, I move that we adjourn. Andrew, you're gonna second it, you're the only one.
I second that.
All right, meeting adjourned at, survey says 12:21. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.